Welcome to the Short Council. I'm your host, Tex Rockwolf, and with me this week, as always, are the PBD All-Stars, featuring this week at my left, Amanda, and this week at my right, Caleb. And we're discussing Episode 8 of Season 5 of Game of Thrones, Hardhome. Ooh, this was a heck of an episode. I'm too excited about the real meat of this episode to not talk about it first.
Right.
Fair enough.
I noticed it got colder up here.
I just
around
myself.
the time, the episode.
It's true. We recently had a little bit of a cold snap here, and it was a foreboding, foreshadowing sort of thing here. Hey bitches, guess what? It's all on the table now.
It's all fucked up now. What I'ma do now? Huh? What I'ma do now?
Everyone's talking about, the army of the dead's coming, and everyone's like, oh, that's a bunch of nonsense, or, let's kill the wildlings, I don't have anything to worry about from no undead. Well, now we know exactly what the army of the undead looks like, and it is...
They're scary!
Oh, terrifying. My heart was racing as they arrived at the place, like a...
Silence.
The silence, and then the booming, and then the silence again, and it was like a arrival of a force of nature, and that's, and then it was. Ugh.
Well, I loved how they did the wide shot so that you could literally see the panic starting. So, and it was almost like like a winter wind. It started almost with a swirl of panic, and then it just broke out, and then just mass crazy. It was crazy.
This definitive supernatural dread that spreads over everybody in the crowd as they realize what's coming. And I think for in a certain way, it was never real for probably a lot of those wildlings. I imagine for any given tribe, there was probably some a scout or a band of scouts or raiding party that saw this.
Right.
And then came back and told everybody that there's this army, but most of the people hadn't seen it.
Sure.
And I have people who tried to watch Game of Thrones, and they're like, no, I really can't get into it. I mean, there's the allure of ice zombies and a horde of the magical undead and ice liches that fucking slay things with magical ice spears. I mean, but where's that? Where's that? I haven't seen any of that, so I'm not interested.
It was all last night.
It was all last night. This was all the build, and the build really it really made it worth it when it finally got here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is the most satisfying episode of Game of Thrones I've seen in a long time.
The last few episodes have just been disappointing and just sad and depressing.
But they really knew how to play it. I mean, they really played it right. I mean, they started with the swirl of panic, and then they're like, shut the gates. So they're taking it up a notch, and then they're building the anticipation, and you can feel them coming, and you see their eyeballs through the holes in the fence. I mean, they ran us through every single gear to get us into overdrive.
Crawling through the hole one after another, just like spiders coming out of the wall.
Through,
flinging themselves over.
The effects look great. The setup was great, and the battling was great. I really liked how they did not take the opportunity. Jon and his group of black coats to just try to swim out to the boats right away. They're like, we gotta hold the fucking wall.
Yeah.
I mean, these are people who are very skilled and experienced in holding the wall, so...
But did you guys notice that, it took them a while to call the Night Watchman to go and
together
fight?
and go and do it?
What was that about? Was he let the wildlings fend for themselves? Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, how many of the Night's Watch were really with him? 10, 15, maybe 20?
10.
Not a ton. So, I mean, and they were all assumedly, kind of trying to direct the lines of people trying to get out of the boat, so...
Well, that's what he was saying, keep the line, stay in line.
Stay in line, we'll get you on the boat.
It's like the Titanic.
No, there's really no stay in line anymore. The sequence where he's fighting the White Walker inside the meeting building, everything is burned up and collapsed in there after the giant went out. That was just so tense. I was legitimately scared for Jon Snow.
I was grabbing my neighbors.
I remember you apologizing.
I needed a hand to hold.
He got hit in the chest there, and you just see him for the first time, just like, oh, is he getting up?
Right.
Yeah. Is he gonna be? And we're running out of people who can save him. I mean, as far as we know, like the other members of the Night's Watch who were there in the building when the first the Whites started showing up. They may have already been dead. Like, as far as I kind of was really worried that Dolorous Ed was already dead.
Yeah. Well, and the bag of dragon glass
that was stuck
inside
under
that building. Like, there's a lot there.
And then this is kind of a contentious point. This is something that I think is important. Of course, there's this amazing scene, this part where he gets to finally kill the White Walker he's fighting with Longclaw. Which, as we know, is a Valyrian steel blade. Did Longclaw destroy the White Walker? Because up to this point, we only know that Obsidian, Dragonglass, can do this. Did it do it because it's Valyrian steel, which has been suggested in some of the stories to be forged with Dragonfire? Or is it something else? There's a popular theory that Jon is actually the Azor Ahai figure, and that would make his sword that he wields as the great hero, Lightbringer.
Yeah.
Right. So, what do you guys think? Is it all Valyrian steel, or is he Azor Ahai? Is he the hero?
I think it would be Valyrian steel, because like you said, he tried wielding other swords and they all shattered. So.
Yeah. See, and I would like to think that it's Valyrian steel for the fact that if that's the case, like theoretically, there's Valyrian steel just kind of dabbled throughout the Seven Kingdoms, right? So what's going to bring them back together? Well, we all have our little swords. Let's go fight these guys together. So I'm going to play the optimist and say that it's the Valyrian steel just so that it can be like a combining factor.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Obsidian created by Dragonflame.
Yeah.
Anything really touched by Dragonflame would, in theory.
So, I'm personally, I come with you guys. I do hope that it's kind of a collective thing, that the other swords would work. We're not going to know unless somebody else with a Valyrian steel blade happens to wander farther up north sometime soon. Brienne.
Yeah. But just for a moment, let's explore the theory that Jon Snow is Azor Ahai.
Well, Melisandre has been staring at Jon a lot when she was at the wall with him.
She tried to jump his
bones. Like she has with Stannis. I mean, she certainly seems to think that there's some value in his blood.
Oh, I thought you were going to say some value in her vagina. I'm sorry. No. I really thought that's where it was going.
That's true. that she also thinks that there's value there, but she thinks that there's value in his blood, or in this case, I guess, his seed.
Yes.
And the thing is that she only ever in the show, as far as we've seen, has wanted to do that with Stannis.
A
royal, someone of royal blood. So I mean, there is the question here: what exactly is Jon's claim to having royal blood in the first place?
Targaryen blood.
Well, I mean, that's the popular theory.
Yeah.
Wait, so that would mean that Stannis would end up having to kneel to Jon Snow. Whoa. Well,
because the whole Baratheon claim to the throne is based on saying that the Targaryen claim is illegitimate.
Yep.
So, otherwise Robert would never have been able to claim the throne in the first place. So, I mean, I can't believe that Stannis would be willing to settle for anything less than being king at this point.
Yes, but then if the theory of Jon Snow being Azor Ahai and Stannis being
Azor Ahai is also a thing.
Roller, right?
Well, he's supposedly Azor Ahai. He's supposed to be the hero come again. So what you have here now are two major figures who are allegedly Azor Ahai. And then also there's
why would Melisandre say both of them are? Just to have like her.
I think she may have thought that Stannis was, and she might now think that maybe Jon might be. And if you remember from a previous episode over in Volantis, where Tyrion saw the Red Priestess there who was preaching about Daenerys Targaryen being Azor Ahai come again. So basically all these different priests are speaking to different groups of people and proclaiming different people to be Azor Ahai. So then the question is, why are these supposedly devout, people who have supposedly real insight from the supposedly real god R'hllor, or R'hllor, however you want to say it.
So it's like a heavenly Game of Thrones?
It is a heavenly Game of Thrones.
Okay, you had said earlier, though, that, Azor Ahai kind of represented the hero of each, kind of region's mythical heroes, right?
Right.
What if Azor Ahai is each of those culture's mythical heroes?
Like the seven.
Like they all are Azor Ahai. Azor Ahai is many different heroes.
What if he actually wasn't ever just one person?
Yeah, he was all the different heroes.
And that different people from different tribes and so forth. There was a chosen one from each group of persons that came forward. And
Stannis Baratheon, Jon Snow,
Daenerys Targaryen. And I'm sure the list can go on if we do a little bit of searching around. That would be interesting,
because then they would all be fire leaders, which would be needed to fight the ice.
Sure, and there's obviously, and maybe they're the opposites of the White Walkers themselves, and because there's a limited number of them, and they're obviously much more powerful than the Whites.
Well, how many of the little commander?
I mean, how many have we ever seen in one place?
We saw four on horses.
4 horsemen, yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. And then we saw in that scene from this is a long episode, I'm so sorry, you guys. But we seen in the previous episode from last season, there was the one where the one White Walker took the baby from Craster's and then brought them to a council there was 9 of them or something. I'll probably eat my words here. Right now, you're looking at a clip from that episode, hopefully, where you see exactly how many there are, and it's a lot. So, not a super ton, but, maybe that's exactly it. Maybe
so do you think there's a fire Azor leader to match each one? So if
I think that... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'm just wondering, so if that's the case, we have... 3 possible Azor Ahai candidates right now.
Right.
And we obviously would need more, so who would the other possibly...
Tyrion. I could see Tyrion being...
sure.
In his own way. He's battle-tested for sure.
He's very cunning. But then, the thing is, and then there are Bravosi, or, the people of why am I... Well, yeah.
All of Essos.
All of Essos, basically. Or Dorne. The Dothraki. The people from the Summer Isles. There's all kinds of cultures that have their own stories and so forth, and they might have their own champion. Mm-hmm. As we go forward, some of them might emerge. This is some deep speculation at this point, but that's an interesting theory that, each of the White Walkers is sort of the other of, a counterpoint to some hero who can rise up from a different bloodline or whatever, on the fire side, you know what I mean?
Could you imagine if the Mountain ended up being, one? A kind of, reincarnation of Azor Ahai. He is being reincarnated.
And then that begs the question, are all these legendary heroes and champions actually, necessarily good people? Or are they just, powerful people? Yeah. And there are more questions than there are answers.
Always.
But to go back a little bit, I do want to talk about when they first arrived at Hardhome, and the Lord of Bones greets them and gets up in their faces, and Tormund starts and the Lord of Bones starts saying talking some pretty nasty trash to him there, and he got put in his place pretty effectively. He got beat with his own pimp cane. Dead.
Now let's talk.
Bullshit's done. Let's talk. I like Tormund. He doesn't get things done.
Yeah, he's real. Yeah. He doesn't come in with any bullshit. And further, the whole scene with among the elders, discussing whether or not this was something anybody wanted to be a part of. I thought.
I hate the Fens.
Oh, the Fens suck, but you know. But I think that both Tormund and Jon had some good moments in there where they were pretty impressive. I was convinced. If I hadn't been convinced, I think I would have been convinced already.
I put an arrow in him. Really? That's how you're gonna say it?
People in the show are so bad at communicating. Oh my god! I mean, yeah, no, I mean, then thank God Tormund was there to say it was a mercy. I saw it, you know. But yeah,
probably why he did it. He was giving Tormund that chance to vouch for him.
Sure,
yeah.
Maybe.
But I also think that the free folk like admire just that honest frankness. Yeah, like, yep, I shot him.
There's a value in that, to be sure. Yeah, and then when they were getting in, piling in their last man, like watching the whites run behind them as they were getting to the shore, I was like, how are they gonna get out of here? Like, they're gonna just like all like suicide dive into the boat and like hope like the momentum of their bodies hitting it are gonna propel it out there? Which then it was like they did, because they lingered like 20 feet from the shore so that the Night King could like,
come at me, bro.
Come at me, Snow.
Let's go.
Come at me, Snow.
But why was it so focused on Snow? I mean, Tormund was a leader. There was no real leader. They were working together, right? But it was definitely geared right at Jon Snow.
Yeah. I mean, we can all agree that he was like staring holes through Jon's fucking head there.
Yeah.
Well, he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him. Well, he looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him.
And to me,
all 5 feet away.
Right, all 5. Like, he could have reached out and grabbed him. It was so, row! Get those guys rowing! But yeah, the Night's King seemed to kind of name Jon as his opposite by maintaining eye contact the whole time. Mm-hmm. You know, and then like there's just and then everyone raised up. It's, you know, it was really fulfilling exactly what Jon was scared of and trying to prevent this whole time.
Yeah. Winterfell, Sansa is really pushing Theon for some information, and she's pretty pissed about it. And I like her moxie.
Yeah, no.
She had every right to be mad. I mean, in her mind, yeah, took away her entire family.
Right. Allowed all this to happen. Allowed for the house, the castle to be cleared out in the first place. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think that this is sort of a somewhat vindicative moment here. I mean, she did end up as a victim. A lot of people online are complaining about the direction she's taking, as if, you know, being the victim of Ramsay's violence somehow negated her arc as becoming better. Which I don't agree with, and I think in this week we saw that she's still strong. She's trying to push Theon. She figured out that Theon responds to like the threat of violence or the accusation, and she just has to be tough with him.
Also, kind of rallying him. Theon,
she keeps calling Theon.
Not Reek. Theon.
Yeah. Well, she's might be, you know, basically. Well, I mean, arguably, he needs to be broken again before he can be Theon. She needs to break him down again and build him back up as Theon instead of this foundation of Reek that's been created.
Boy, that poor kid.
Killed those boys.
They weren't those boys. They were Bran and Rickon. They were your brothers. You've known them since they were born.
They weren't. They were only.
Only what?
I can't.
Tell me.
I can't, not unless the master says.
Tell me, they weren't what?
They weren't.
Tell me why Bran and Rickon should be gone while you still breathe the air. Tell me to my face, Theon. Tell me that they weren't your brothers.
They weren't Bran and Rickon.
It's still hard to feel sorry for Theon because even though it wasn't Bran and Rickon, it still was 2 kids.
Well,
you know, I mean, it's hard to feel bad for him.
Yeah. Well, you know, basically Theon, and that wasn't even Theon's idea either.
Right.
Theon was like what an idiot. Like, he just, like, took such bad advice from so many people. But still, I sort of feel like his debt's been paid in many regards.
Yeah.
You know, that especially if he can help Sansa, and, you know... If he can help her. But if he can help her, you know, that would, as far as I'm concerned, then, you know, the debt's essentially paid. Karmically, at the very least. Even if Sansa might not feel that way.
Right.
And also, Ramsay's pretty full of himself.
The snow's so deep we couldn't get an army through to engage them even if we wanted to.
I don't need an army. I need 20 good men.
Give me 20 men. Give me 20 men, and I'm gonna sneak up and really.
Yeah.
You're a bad man, Ramsay Bolton. There's no question there. Fuck you, Ramsay Snow. You're a bastard. Like Sansa said, I'm not even gonna respect you enough to fucking call you by your supposed family name. But
oh no, but he was what, validated by the king.
The bastard.
Also a bastard.
Right.
Yeah.
But real full of himself. Let's just take 20 men down there. I don't think it's gonna go as well for him as he thinks it is.
And if it does, it's gonna be so disappointing.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically declare him Azor Ahai then, because apparently he's apparently he's a chosen one. If he can fucking take down Stannis' army with 20 men.
I just kind of hope that that's his downfall and he just kind of dies. But I mean, that's just ideal.
Well, George R. R. Martin certainly likes to, and I mean we're departing his official story here in many ways, but it still is his world. And this world is one where a lot of classic hero tropes have been truly subverted. And it's nice to see some, villainous tropes subverted too. Mm-hmm. And it's a classic for there to be some epic showdown and where the bad guy is some unstoppable monster or whatever. But wouldn't it be kind of fitting if he just kind of gets his comeuppance, kind of disappointingly without there being some big showdown between him and Stannis? Yeah. Just one of his mercenaries fucking just tags him real good in the side and he just starts leaking out blood real bad and
Whoops.
Whoops. Not nearly as invincible as you thought you were. Ramsay.
Imagine his dad sending out someone to do that.
He's got a
so
son
that his
coming.
Non-bastard son, yeah.
I think he's quite willing to send his son out there with 20 of his son's favorite guys. Mm-hmm. That's the thing is that he has shown disdain and everything before, and he's shown cold calculation, and I don't think for a second that Bruce Bolton has some genuine affection or concern for his son. No, especially since he's a bastard son of a woman he apparently didn't have very much respect for either.
Right.
I nearly had her whipped.
Cersei get whipped with a spoon. How awesome was that?
Oh, I couldn't handle that.
Hard to watch.
Hard to watch? Are you kidding me?
It was hard to watch.
Oh, that was great.
No,
whack.
It was.
She deserved every whack she got.
She did.
I still have surprising mixed feelings about this. I'm with you, but I'm also God, just fucking give her a drink of water or something. I think the indignity of that sackcloth dress that she was wearing, and on the dirty floor, greasy hair. I think the indignity of all that was fine enough, and I'm sure she's got worse coming than that.
Well, did you notice the difference of the way the two women have handled their time in prison? Mm-hmm. Cersei's breaking. She's breaking.
Yeah.
She's angry, but she's cracking.
She's got to know that her sins are a lot worse than Marjorie's sins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Marjorie,
and they don't even know
mercy and
they don't even know the true extent of her sins except by rumor.
Yeah.
They know about her cousin or whatever, but they don't know the true extent.
Lancel was very well connected in with all those things.
That's true.
I mean, it's easy to feel like he's kind of an outsider because we haven't seen him for a while, but do you remember how he was in every episode in season 2 and in season 1 up until everything? I remember being kind of shocked when we saw for the first time that he was in the bedroom with Cersei, but I have no doubt in his mind that he is fully aware of Jaime and the children and everything. And I think that's probably why actually the High Sparrow eventually decided here to finally come to the King's Landing. Because they had someone who was a direct witness to grave sinning from the royals.
Sure.
So
I just loved how Cersei went in there so smug, so smug, and then Oh,
she's been reduced.
Now.
And I can't sit and say that I can't pretend she doesn't deserve every bit of it, but yeah, no, like seeing. You guys don't understand. I want to be more satisfied by this than I am. Because she's the worst.
It was a wooden spoon bitch slap that made my teeth rattle. Like, that was the problem. Like, I'm just like feeling that.
You could hear the whip crack in it. And
I couldn't even watch.
She drained the water on the floor, and then Cersei actually, like, as soon as she left the room, she went over there and started slurping the water up from the floor.
Oh, like a Pearson at a party, man.
I mean, I guess that really shows how thirsty she was and how much her dignity has kind of, left her. But yeah, it's only going to get worse from here, as far as that goes. And
the trial hasn't even started.
I can't. Like I said, she's fucked and she deserves it.
Yep.
The High Sparrow will be presenting a substantial case against you.
The charges?
Fornication, treason, incest, the murder of King Robert.
All lies.
Of course, Your Grace.
But yeah, Qyburn says that Kevin Lannister's back in town. He's the hand of the king now. He doesn't give a shit what's happening to Cersei. Nope. Tommen's curled up in a fetal position in his bedroom, playing with his cats, I guess.
Poor boy.
Poor boy. He truly is the sweetest king. But not worth a damn. Can't do a thing.
Qyburn's an interesting character, He lists off, all the accusations. Lies, all lies. Of course, yes.
Yeah. But, there is a way out from this, and that's to confess. Reminding her that is still an option, though she said it. And that's the thing. She's stating this, that her opposition isn't that she's not ready to face her consequences, or that she's truly innocent, or anything else. When he suggested that she confess, she started going on about how she will not confess to some low-born, whelp, this small beggar of a man who's unwashed and everything. And that's the thing, is that she still thinks she's too good to confess to people like this.
Yep.
Like, would she feel better if some septon in, like, gilded golden, like, robes came in here and asked her to confess? No, probably not. But, I mean, that's the thing. It's just that she's still framing things in this classist, superior sort of way.
But would you want to confess to someone you hired? Like, fuck no. I'm your boss.
Should have thought about that before you hired him.
True.
Blind and dumb and had no idea. She deserves that.
Everything. But as Qyburn said, the work continues. So we'll see if
Bane arrives.
Oh my god, if that's what, because let's all be frank. I mean, this is like some kind of Frankenstein's monster sort of thing. Like, he's gonna come out, like even Qyburn said, he's gonna come out stronger.
Yeah.
So, and he was a monster before. So if he comes out as even more monstrous, I don't doubt that he could burst into the fucking Sept of Baelor and kill everybody.
Well, whose side is he going to come out on, though?
Well, I imagine on Qyburn's.
There's a lot of conditioning, I'm sure that he's putting into him.
And right now, Qyburn is standing with Cersei, but again, we don't know how long that will last.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's really standing with her anymore.
He seems loyal to her, though, doesn't he?
Well, she's not dead yet.
It is all the same to the many-faced god.
In Braavos, we get to catch up a little bit with Arya. She's advanced in her training with the Faceless Men.
It's nice to see her looking like a girl again, but damn, that hair's ugly. Oh my god.
I think this is going to be a very divisive hairstyle. Some people who were watching last night said it was really cute though too. Yeah. So I think this is going to be a very divisive haircut in Game of Thrones.
Sorry, I mean, no. I am the only girl.
Hey, I'll take your word for it then. You're the best representative we have.
I like how they tied in the oyster girl selling story. Yes. How she's created. She not that she only created, but she lives this life that she created.
Mm-hmm. She's living it out there.
She has become this girl. I think that's where
that's what she's training to do. Like that's.
I'm a little disappointed. I kind of wanted to see her kill Meryn Trent this episode, or Meryn Trent. I believe, Trant, but because God damn it, that's got to come around, right? Like he's supposed to be going to Bravos, and like, you know, you think that's coming, but it looks like she's gonna probably have to kill that guy here soon. The Thin Man.
The Thin Man.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what
like,
a bastard.
Okay, I guess I don't quite understand. Like, she's doing this training to become, you know, many-faced or whatever, but she's doing this training to become a little assassin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's what she wants, but like again, you know, she thinks this is going to be her thing, but it's not her thing anymore. It's the many-faced gods.
Yeah, she's just following orders, though. Like.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if there comes a point in this training where she's like, "Well, I learned everything I really need to do to get my revenge, so now I'm going back to Westeros." And I think she might. I think she's going to be disappointed, to find out that that's not how this works. Yeah. Do you think you guys think people can just walk away from the Assassin Guild?
No, I don't think that ever works out. Right?
No.
So. Another thing that I observed about this whole thing is the other attendant or the other student, the other girl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's been a kind of a rivalry kind of building, it seems like, between these two. And it also kind of seems that Arya is kind of outstepping her co-student or whatever. Is this another Azor Ahai?
She might be something more of a character. What's interesting is that because they're in a place where they're abandoning their names, I mean, what do we call this person? I mean, have we heard a name for her yet? I can't. I consider myself pretty observant about these things, and I don't think we've heard a name for her yet. So, but I'm kind of thinking that they're going to go to maybe some battle to the death or some like final test between the two of them of their skills to be a faceless man, to claim the name.
This just seems like a little fishy to me. Like at first I was like all for it, but like the more like I'm seeing it play out, I guess like a little fishy. Or maybe a little clammy.
The freshest in town. And what's interesting too is as Jaqen H'ghar said, it does not matter what happens now to the many-faced god. Either she's ready to kill this guy or she isn't, and she'll die. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Real blasé. Well, I mean, you can't serve a death god without having a pretty blasé attitude about it.
But she wasn't. She wasn't. Remember when she turned around? She kind of gave
all happy.
She was excited about it. Like, hell yeah.
This is gonna. I'm really hoping that she's gonna, go and observe the Thin Man, and then she's going to be in the process of like trying to observe more and learn more about him, and then maybe Mace Tyrell and Meryn Trant end up kind of going through the area, right? And she's going to have to make a choice whether she uses this poison to kill him, or maybe uses it to kill Meryn Trant.
Or she kills the Thin Man, becomes the Thin Man, and then kills Meryn Trant as the Thin Man.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Wheels inside of wheels.
I'm going to break the wheel.
Finally, in Meereen, the moment so many people have been waiting for, they get to have a little bit of dialogue.
Finally, a reason to watch Meereen. I always kind of zone out whenever Daenerys came up. It's just like, oh, time to check my phone, see what's going on.
Bitchin' too. Oh my goodness.
It's nice to see some Tyrion finally arrive
and still being as sharp-tongued on things as ever.
I haven't decided whether I want to advise you, you know?
Well, I mean, she is used to people cowing before her, so I think that was really refreshing for her, and I think that he was smart enough to know that he needed to present a little bit of a challenge, because if you just, my grace, and that wasn't going to probably work. She sees that shit all the time.
Yeah. He knows how to read people very well. I mean, we've seen this time and time again.
Yeah, by refusing to be intimidated by her, she's intrigued by him.
Yep.
So.
But I don't think that I could think of a better advisor for Daenerys.
Yep. He is exactly what she needs.
He said it himself. He was a good hand of the king, and he didn't even really like the leader. So now that he stands behind the leader, how much better he's going to be at his job. That's just the truth. I mean, I totally believe him when he says that.
And I think one of the important things too, and I don't know if they've mentioned it so much in the show, I know in the book they have, is that Tyrion, had devoted a lot of time to studying dragons. He was obsessed with dragons, right? And so I think this is going to be a great, benefit for Daenerys. She's going to have someone who, knows a little something about dragons, at least.
It is said that your ancestors used to do this thing to discipline the dragons and bring them under control. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't even think about it that way. Like,
he's the Great White Hope, basically. He's
like
he's another Azor Ahai. Everyone's Azor Ahai. Why not? Everyone gets to be. It was great hearing that dialogue and being witty with each other. Dany had a little bit of sharpness to her tongue too.
Maybe I will have you killed.
And the way she took the drink away from him when he was trying to keep pouring himself some more. While you can still speak. That was really nice. They're challenging each other, and I think they're going to hopefully bring the best out of one another
I
here.
agree.
This is delightful. I really like
I wonder,
this.
do you think he'll stop her impending marriage?
To Hisdar?
Yeah.
To old stupid face Hisdar? I hope so. God, I hate that guy. He's so Weasley. He's probably in with the Sons of the Harpy. I'm just gonna say it right now.
What I want to see happen is Drogon. Is that his name? Drogon? The Black Dragon. I want to see him show up, eat Hisdar. And just
Sure. No, I'm right.
And then play off again, Every time a suitor comes up, he just comes in and eats him until the right one,
Oh, that'd be actually really cool if, the dragons got to choose in a way.
Complex
Oh, sure. Right. But then, of course, I don't know. I don't think they really showed it much in the books. I guess they do more. Or, excuse me, I don't think they've shown it much in the show. They say to me, people like you book readers, that Dario is favored by the dragons. The dragons really like Dario, don't they? But I don't think he's right for her either.
No.
They also in the books, I guess, mentioned or hinted at, the Targaryen, or I don't know if it was history on the Targaryens, but also that, her having many different husbands, And Hisdar would be one, but, when she gets over to Westeros, she would probably marry another to unite those ties. And she would probably have more than one husband.
Well, Aegon the Conqueror had 2 wives at least.
I think that's what they referenced. Okay,
yeah. And probably more wives if I had to guess. But he definitely was definitely more than one. So, she's gonna have. And they were all and they as a group were the Dragon Riders. So Dany's gonna need to basically have two husbands basically to ride the other dragons.
John. If she married John and he became a dragon rider, how awesome would that be?
And if he's a Targaryen, then that continues the Targaryen ancestry. I'm sorry, I got a little excited for ancestry there. That'll be the one time, I promise. But hey, traditions. They kept the Targaryen. I'm not. Hey. The trains run on time. No, the blood's true. They are the dragon? No, okay. Do you guys feel that Tyrion betrayed Jorah a little bit by not speaking better for him?
No. I don't. I really, truly don't. I think that he was doing a couple of things. I think he was giving Jorah mercy as far as he could have been killed. You came back, I told you I didn't want to see you again, you're done. Boom. So he gave him kind of like a saving face way, or a nice compromise that Daenerys could be satisfied that he was at least banished and he would still keep his life. I think that he was also doing a favor considering he's sick. He's got the ick.
I think he knew that he had grayscale, and that's why he sent him out of the city. You can't have someone with grayscale in a city like Marine.
Yeah. There's. I think that that's definitely got to come into play to some degree.
But then it's not exactly that he's leaving the city, because what did he
turn
turn around and do?
Jorah is just a dumbass, is what Jorah is. He just keeps coming back.
He's a fanatic.
He just wants that pussy. He just keeps coming back for that pussy.
It's on a pedestal, and he's got to take it off the pedestal.
Right?
Dany's not that great, Jorah. Use the I mean...
Go to Dorne. There's more beautiful women in Dorne.
They're going to be much more willing to fuck you, according to the stories, anyway. You
Grab a
know?
sand snake.
Hey,
Right?
Whoa, that was funny.
But, yeah. No, Jorah's kind of an idiot, and I don't think that... Let's bring this out to its logical conclusion. So let's say he wins this great fighting tournament or whatever, and then he gets to unmask or take his helm off, and then it's Jorah standing in front of Daenerys again. Do you think she's going to go, oh, now I'm okay with this?
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, no. I don't think...
Yeah, but to truly please her, then, I mean, we already saw it this episode where he didn't actually kill anyone because he wanted to please the Khaleesi. Now, I mean, to win this next tournament, he's just going to knock them all out and then win, and then, oh, my queen.
It might soften her disposition a little bit, I think, but it sucks because he's running out of time. He's running out of time.
He goes in the competition and someone just cuts off his infected arm. Boom, done. He lives.
Or what if they try to cut his arm and it's already progressed and it just hits stone?
Oh, yeah. That seems like a
kind of like James Goldfist.
Right?
Stone fist.
Oh, little stone arm action. Improvising with weapons. Secret techniques.
Azor High Stoneman edition.
Oh,
another one!
Everyone is. And I hope that we'll find out the identities of even more Azor Ahai next week. And hopefully you'll join us then for episode 9 of Game of Thrones here on The Short Council. Have a good night.
Peanut butter disaster.